Hello and welcome to Mercury Magic. Today I will be reviewing Penn Teller's Masterclass, The Art of Magic. For those of you who are unfamiliar with what exactly Masterclass is, it's an online service and you pay to hear an expert on a subject teach it. This is a variety of people ranging from Martin Scorsese, Hans Zimmer, Wolfgang Puck, David Axelrod, and Karl Rove, Neil deGrasse Tyson, and many, many others, as you can see some from this picture. Anyway, I'm not really sure how many classes there are, but I estimate it's around 50 actually. So anyway, I'll be going over Penn and Teller's class, right? Because this is a magic channel. So I'm going to be reviewing that one. Anyway, so it's 17 videos long, and the courses are set up in a series of videos. Each are about 2 to 3 minutes long, and about a dozen are actual tutorials, you could say, and the others are an introduction and a few on discussions about the philosophy of magic, and then there's even a few bonus specials on they're sort of them critiquing someone's performance, an up-and-comer, so to speak, and then also one of their live show. So anyway, I'm going to be going over the tricks they teach themselves. The first one is the French drop, which they consider the cornerstone of all sleight of hand. And so they devote an entire lesson to just the French drop and how to execute it in a convincing manner, right? And even if you know what the French drop is, and this kind of goes for all the lessons, is that even if you know it, you don't really know it as well as you could after watching watching their tutorials of these effects, right? So the next one is the cups and balls. That's a routine they perform a lot. It's a sort of a signature piece of theirs, and it's a classic in magic. It's considered the oldest trick in the world, and they have their own unique take on it, right? They use plastic cups and tinfoil wrap balls. So it's actually, you can perform it with the supplies in your house already, because I think most of you have that, right? So that's a plus. You don't have to buy any supplies. As a matter of fact, that goes for the entire course. Besides a pack of cards, there is nothing that you actually have to go out and buy. All these tricks can be used with items that most of you probably have lying around. The next one, I think, is the epitome of tricks to be done with items lying around. The center tear. I mean, you need a pen, a paper, and a pair of matches. It doesn't get much simpler than that, and the effect is fantastic. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about my favorite magic trick. I'm talking about this class. And so they go over the center tear and also the immoral uses of mentalism, how so many people have used it mostly in the past as a means to prove they have psychic powers and they communicate with spirits and whatnot. And anyone who knows these two remotely knows that they're extremely against using magic to prove that you have special supernatural abilities, and rightly so. Anyway, they have a video on coin magic and a few basic coin tricks, and then some on card magic. And card magic there's just so many tricks out there, and with that there are so many bad tricks. However, they go over some of the basics: the magician's choice, a force, a couple of forces, a key card concept, right? And then a card in an impossible location trick, so to speak. And this is mostly what you see them perform actually a lot of times. Their three of clubs trick, really. And they go over this with the late Johnny Thompson, who worked as their mentor and consultant and many other things. And so, yeah, all the card tricks are good. There's one force in it that I found particularly useful. I had not really used it before watching this, but after watching this, I decided that it was actually a pretty good piece. And this is a fairly basic class, so if any of you have a decent background in magic, you've been studying it for at least a year or two, you probably know everything you're going to teach. But like I mentioned before, is that you don't know it as well as if you were taught it by them. If you watch them talk about a concept, you learn a lot from it. Anyway, the last sort of tricks they teach is rope, right? So those are also pretty cool. And then there are the discussions on magic philosophy, which I find the best part of this class, right? Because you might know all these tricks and how to do them, and it's good to hear a little bit extra, pointers and tips on someone who probably have, over a century experience combined. But them discussing magic and things like performing, right? Exploiting the human brain, what is magic, lying versus magic, all these different things, and how their approach to it all, and how they see things, how to perform in the performance, right? What to say. Don't sit there saying stupid stuff like "I have a red ball" and things like that. And anyway, I just find that's the most useful, most interesting part of this class, is the ones of them discussing what they think on different topics on magic, right? And then there's the last few bonus episodes, and I believe there are 3 bonuses. There is one where they're critiquing a performance of a friend of theirs who's just learning magic along with Johnny Thompson, right? He's there again. And that's useful because, we might not all make the same mistake and do the same things as the one in the video, but it's still useful to hear them and how they sort of see things and correct it once more. Same on that, back on that topic of how they view magic. It's good to hear their insight because, well, they know what they're talking about. Anyway, there's also one of the live show, right? And them just performing, putting all this into action, what you just saw. And then I believe the last bit with them critiquing Piff the Magic Dragon. So, anyway, those are all the classes. It cost $180, and actually you can access all classes on the service. So, I think actually right now they actually have a Christmas deal going on for, I think, 2 for the price of 1. I'm not endorsed by Masterclass. I just saw this information. And if you're thinking, is this worth it? Should I spend the money? Well, I'll say is that it's good for a beginner because it teaches them these new concepts, right? These really sort of important magic tricks. Like the cups and balls, center tear, right? The French drop, and then a few good card tricks and coin tricks. And so it's good for beginners in that sense, right? They learn these important tricks, so to speak. And it's also good for the more experienced magician because you hear their insight and them talking about these tricks. And so you can learn something from them just discussing it. So if you have a little bit of money left around to drop, I can recommend this, I guess, is that it is a little pricey, but I suppose you also get many other classes if you want to go learn something else. And I still would recommend to go learn from books and things like that, like, 13 Steps of Mentalism, The Royal Road to Card Magic, all the ones that sort of everyone learns when they're first coming up in magic. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.